same with teachers and doctors. There's always going to be the deranged. We live in a fallen world. There's always going to be, so where I work, I don't want to say it where I work, but there's always someone. Every year we have a teacher that has molest a child. Like we have that every year, but we're not collectively going after teachers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Kicking through the streets.
And I'm sure if there was
teachers
cameras,
like blanket,
if there was cameras in classrooms, some of the things I have witnessed teachers say to kids, there would be a movement to get all teachers fired or whatever, because there is a lot of
bad apples,
and that's how I feel about, and that's how I felt about it from the get. Like when they were calling for back in 2015, when they were starting to do the whole, like, let's go after police officers and they're terrible and they're all racist. I was never for that ever. Because like I said, I'm a very experiential person. Like I've had a lot of experiences in my life that have led me to my beliefs. Joshua's more of the logical, like, here's all the facts. That's why we make such a great team. And my experience with law enforcement has been very, very positive. Like I know that there are bad apples out there. Same with how there's bad doctors and there's bad teachers, but this whole like movement to just completely demonize the police. And I see it amongst my students. Like the way they talk about police now it's heartbreaking, because these people are working hard. That is one of the hardest jobs. I watched Live PD. Josh doesn't like to watch it, but I watched Live PD, which is like a TV show.
Job is done now, right? It's canceled.
Yeah, I think that show's canceled now. Yeah, they can't show it anymore. That job is so hard. Like they say that a job of a teacher, you have to make 1,000 split decisions, like all the time. You're constantly making decisions, and we don't always make the right decisions. There have been times I've snapped at students and I'm like, oh, why did I say that to her? It's usually a girl, because girls are the brats. But the boys, I don't know, I have more patience for, but the girls are always like, whatever, like roll your eyes, and I'm like not in the mood, I'm PMSing or something. And I always apologize, and I'm always like, okay guys, I'm not in the best mood today. And I tell that to my students. When I'm not in a good mood, I tell them, and they're like, what? A lot more forgiving, a lot nicer. But, we're human beings, same with police officers. They are human beings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like, they have to make so many decisions in their day, so many decisions, and they're dealing with so much. Like they get, and like I said, I'm for repentance and reformation. Like, I don't think that a cop should work double overtime. Like that is not, when you're fatigued, you're not going to make the best decisions. You know what I'm saying? Like they should be making sure that police officers get a good amount of sleep, because you need to be in your right mind for that job. I don't think we should have police officers that, we should be very strict about drug testing. Like they should be, if someone is drunk all the time or someone's drinking all the time and then showing up to work, I'm sorry, put them on leave.
Right.
That kind of stuff. But it's just this war on police and this war on, it's wrong. And that's where I have always stood with the Black Lives Matter movement. I remember back in 2015 when it started becoming very prominent, I remember being like, I don't really like this idea of getting rid of the police. Like, I don't think what they have or what they offer or what they're going to do is going to be any better. Because they're calling for, we're going to train. I just read the article yesterday. The leader of New York, Black Lives Matter New York, says they want to train their own peace officers within their community, right? Like that isn't going to become a problem. Like that isn't going to become completely corrupt. I mean, the organization has already proven itself to be pretty corrupt. And so it's
is an excuse for a step towards a paramilitary organization.
And to be honest,
it's step one in a communist.
In our country, like you go to other countries and you see their police, they're pretty bad. Like you go to Mexico, like you have to have $20 on you.
Yeah, the joke, the joke in Mexico, the joke in like the Philippines. The joke is you have a 20 next to your driver's license.
Yeah.
Because you get pulled over. That's how and you don't have that in America.
Yeah.
You don't have that problem.
Yeah. And so to say that our police force is this dysfunctional, racist, terrible, tyrannical, what do they call it? They call it the government murderers or something. They call them something, the government sanctioned murderers. That's what they call them. Government sanctioned murderers. That's what they're calling them. And then the numbers don't back it up.
The numbers don't back it up.
And that's the number one thing. Like, I'm sorry, but you guys are saying Black Lives Matter, but then it's 9 unarmed Black men were killed last year in 2019. Yet we have 1,827 Black babies killed every day by abortion.
Right.
And so that's where it's like their movement is like hot air.